Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
What's good? What's up? Welcome to the final first cut of 2020. Thank God this year is ending. I'm here with my starting lineup. Obviously, the power forward, the one who's scoring the threes, the one whose mid-range is crazy. RB3 is in the house. What's up, bro?
What's going on? What's going on? I've always considered myself more of a big man, you know what I mean, down low in the paint, but
yeah, but we got our big man though. Our big man, our center, our 7-footer, finishing at the rim, unstoppable, backing it up, back it up. Literally back it up. That's what they do. That's Sabrina is in the house. What's up, girl?
Hi guys.
Why are you looking? Yeah, why are you looking so fresh though?
Oh my God. Okay, maybe I was overcompensating because I've been actually sick the past few days. So I was like, oof, gotta look not sick. Put on that blush, put on that top. Yeah, because it's been a rough few days for me. Luckily, I don't think it's anything serious. So just trying to get over that, alleviate a little bit. But happy to be here with you guys for our last.
Went to the Oscars or something.
Oh, dramatic. You're
no,
dramatic.
I'm being real. Like I put on like my son's basketball t-shirt, and that's it. And you look over here like you're about to go to like some ball or some shit.
Hey, I mean, I wish. You know, we haven't done stuff in a hot minute, so you got to dress to impress still, even though we're at home.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You can finish your thought.
Oh yeah, well, I'm happy to be here with you guys today because it's been a rough few days for me, and you know, celebrating our final one of the year, celebrating the fact that this year is over, looking forward to the future. Happy to be here with you guys to do so.
Yes, the future is where it's at. At least that's what I've been telling myself every year for the past many years. Either way, fingers crossed, 2021 is our year. That's what I said in 2019, but hey, at least it won't be 2020, right, guys? Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of tough for years to top terribleness than 2020. Like there's been nothing but bad news for the past for I feel like the past 365. So I'm happy. Hopefully we could turn, because apparently I didn't know this. The decade really starts in 2021. I thought apparently decades are supposed to be. They're supposed to be, you know, like 2011 to 2020 or like, you know, 2001 to 2010. So we've been getting this whole decade wrong.
Shoot. So wait, we have to redo our top 10 of the decade then.
Yeah, I mean,
for 2019.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
I
know. we don't. But it does take the Social Network out of every best of the decade list if we switch it around like that.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, we can finesse with that stuff. Especially this year, I saw the Hollywood Reporter, because I'm a nerd and I'm weird. I saw the Hollywood Reporter short list for the favorites of the Oscar, and I'm just like not impressed. I'm sorry,
really.
I'm just not. It's like Mank, Trial of Chicago 7, Mank, Trial of Chicago 7, Mank, Trial of, and I'm just like, really? Those two movies? Like, they're good. Like, don't get me wrong, but that's like the best of the year. That's Oscar. That's the one that's gonna win it all. But those are the odds.
I feel like there's so much more to come, and I don't know if they're taking all that into account, but I mean, if this is the best to show for it, both of those films we weren't praising it highly, so I highly doubt that. I don't know. Also, I feel like both of those are Oscar baity.
I think especially Mank is you know, is a very Oscar baity, like, you know, old Hollywood stuff like that. And I will say though, we did put our Mank review this week. You know, salute to that. And we, which was a fun vlog and review. But I actually went back and watched Mank this week for the third time. And actually ended up liking it a lot more than in the initial review. I think I went a little hard on it in the initial review. And like, you know, my same criticisms are still there. Like, I still think it's a little bit of a weaker story-wise, you know. And I still find the political stuff very, you know, intense and interesting. But it, you know, I definitely as a film fan can find things to love about it, especially Trent Reznor's and Atticus Ross's score.
Yeah,
and a lot of times that's what happens to me. Like I'll revisit a movie because I like the music, and the music will probably guide me into ways of liking other movies a lot of times more too. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that score didn't pop for me as much the first time I saw it, even though scores usually pop for me quite a bit. But yeah, definitely rewatching it, the score pops a lot more. I just wasn't that impressed with the list. I'm just being honest. I mean, I saw a lot of Sound of Metal. I haven't seen Sound of Metal, but apparently it's going to win everything, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
You have to watch it.
No, I haven't seen it. Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah, it's freaking incredible.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I would say it's probably like in my top 3 of the year right now. Obviously, it's going to be a while till we have these lists realized, but it was so good. I don't want to say anything, just experience it.
The one I want to see the most is Minari, the Steven Yen movie. Did you guys hear about that one? It's the A24 Steven Yen. RB3 is like, dude, you're tripping, bro.
I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, it's an A24 Steven Yen. It's about like a Korean immigrant story that takes place in the 1980s in Arkansas, Oklahoma, someplace like that. Cool. And apparently, I completely forgot. Besides Trial of Chicago 7 and Mank, the one that's apparently going to win it all, besides those two, is Nomadland. They're giving Nomadland everything, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Best picture, best screenplay, best actress, best actress, best director, best everything. Like, it was nominated for every single award I saw. So again, that's another one I want to see.
Well, that gets me curious, especially with the Trial of Chicago 7, right? Like, where's the qualification for something like a Mangrove? Because something we talked about in our review, which you can check out on the First Cut YouTube channel, our review for Mangrove. We are going to be continuing to do more of the small axis movies, as part of our series of reviews. But yeah, I personally think, if you're comparing Mangrove next to Trial of Chicago 7, Mangrove makes Trial of Chicago 7 look like Cats. Like, and I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, Mangrove is 10 times better than Trial of Chicago 7. I like Trial of Chicago 7. Like, I really like it. But that being said, there's no doubt what's the superior movie, and there's no doubt what's the superior filmmaking. But is it because this is packaged into like a series kind of thing? Will it get the same qualifications? Are Oscar voters even looking for Mangrove? Is it on their attention? Is it on their radar?
Does it qualify?
Does it qualify? Yeah, those are all questions I wonder. So I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if people in the chat can let us know if you want to. By the way, if you donate over $10 or more, your message will be read out loud. Firstcut.live. We're keeping the voice thing on all day today because it's our last stream. And, help us line our pockets a little bit for Christmas. You know what I mean? Holidays are coming. Holiday season is here. So, and this is our last time to support First Cut Live for this year. We're going to get into ways that you can support us going forward next year.
Do you guys have any highlights of 2020 that you off the dome that you want to give a shout out to? Overall or First Cut? I mean, it could be First Cut related or overall.
Something that I absolutely love that we did right at the start of the year, pre-pandemic, was the Cuddy Awards. So that's something that I hope we do again going forward in the next year. I think we did it in like end of January, February. And that was a lot of fun. I loved all of us just getting together, not knowing each other's lists, and like battling it out in person just right then and there, and just coming up with our own definitive list. I think it's cool because, we talk about award season. We're going to be getting into all of that, exactly what you mentioned. And all of us having our own specific tastes. Some of it obviously aligned with the Academy. A lot of it doesn't. There's other awards that we pay more attention to. So I like the fact that we did that ourselves. That was probably the highlight.
Yeah, we both, at least all of us, picked a horror actress to win Best Picture this year and last year. Because RB3 and you had Lupita Nyong'o and I had Florence Pugh for Midsommar. And then we concluded that Lupita Nyong'o can win too. I mean, my God. But we all concluded that a horror actress should win Best Actress, which is something that's, I don't think, been done in a minute. Yeah, that was fun. That's a good one. Mine is the half of it, getting a shout out from the director, is still like the highlight of my year. Yeah. That was a highlight, bro. That was so cool.
That was cool.
Just because I'm proud of that review, and it was one of our first ones that we did over virtual, like streaming and Zoom and all that. So it's always iffy as far as like what's going to go on, but it worked out so well. And the fact that she praised it, she was like, "What a smart, intelligent conversation," and I was like, "Man, Thank you, girl. Man.
Yeah.
I was so flattered. It's not even funny. And I know they're probably talking about you two the most, but either way I took it. I was like, man, this is cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that was dope. And then I really loved it because in their tweet, she pointed specifically at something that I said in the review. Like, I think I compared
there you go,
it.
see?
Well, no, I think I compared it to like Edge of 17 and Lady Bird. And she was like, oh my gosh, what a nice comparison. I was like, oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
She actually listened.
Yeah.
She did. She watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
I'm always kind of curious how many directors or people who are involved in projects watch our reviews. Like, it was kind of nice to have
probably
validation.
Not much.
Well, I don't know, man. I really think I think there might have been somebody who might have stumbled across the TMO episode that we might have done about them at some point. I think. I'm
that's
just kind of curious.
Point.
Well, I mean, we can't discount. Shout out to Cade. Judd Apatow also was one of the first people celebrities to comment on one of our videos. So.
Commented.
Yeah.
Bayona.
Oh yeah, like the tweet. Yeah, like the tweet. Yeah, but it's nothing like the actual director going out of their way to tweet the review out. Like,
yeah, that and Trank too. Trank coming on.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was probably gonna be one of my bigger highlights of 2020 for me was that whole situation because it was just cool having like our name in Variety. Not the First Cut name, but like just our faces and a video there and like a story that came from our show. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for donating, House Heisenberg. Thank you. Again, people, firstcut.live. That's the way to do it.
That's the every time I see it, bro. That's the one that you guys broke quarantine. You guys made out in front of camera.
Yeah.
We all got to do it sometimes, man. That's the First Cut way. No, I'm playing.
I cannot wait to clink bottles with you guys again. Andres, your water, our beers.
Yeah.
I can't wait to clink
or
them
my
all once this is
coffee or
all
tea.
over, or your coffee.
Or tea. You guys have seen me like walk in a restaurant at like 9:30 at night, and they're like, "You want a cheeseburger?" And I'm like, "How about some tea?"
You're just so zen.
First of all, shout out to all three of you for truly bringing your own perspective and thoughts to everything you all do. What's your favorite 2020 movie and favorite non-2020 movie you saw for the first time this year? Harold and Maude is my non-2020 duh.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you.
What was the
Aaron.
last part? I missed the last part.
Harold and Maude was their last non-2020 movie they saw that they loved. So, like, what's your favorite movie from 2020 and non-2020 that you saw for the first time?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have one, Sabrina?
Great question. No, I just knew that was from Aaron because of Harold and Maude. I really want to check out Harold and Maude. He's been telling me about that for a long time. Favorite movie of 2020? That is so difficult for me right now. I think I'm thinking of Ending Things. This is all subject to change. So I'm thinking of Ending Things is probably my favorite 2020. For non-2020, I'd have to think about it a little bit. I would probably say for non-2020, I don't know if Citizen Kane counts, but I mean, I don't think I even remember that movie, but watching that for the first time was quite an experience. Or for the first time, not being someone who's halfway paying attention,
right? Like
actually watching it. As far as like favorite 2020, I'm always going to say Never Rarely, Sometimes Always, just because I don't think anyone has topped that yet. But also shout out to the one from Amazon, the sci-fi one that I told you guys about, and that Alex Mazornia. The Vast of Night is probably my favorite, besides Never Rarely, if I had to pick. Like to rewatch and stuff. I was just really impressed with it.
Yeah.
So,
man, I'm trying to think. I'm really trying
or Mangrove. Mangrove is up there too, man.
Mangrove is up there for me as one of probably my favorite of the year. And if we're counting we're counting non-movies, like, obviously The Last Dance is up there and Hamilton is up there. Those two for me were big obsessions. But in terms of movies, I'll probably say either Mangrove or there's something else that I really enjoyed this year, and it's slipping my mind so quick. But Mank is up. Mank is probably in the top 10. And guys, we reviewed so many movies this year. I can't even remember.
Why are you snapping at us?
Oh no, I'm not snapping at you. I'm snapping at myself.
Hey.
What did I see? And favorite non-2020 movie, that one's a little tougher because I don't know if I watched that many new movies. I watched a lot of shows during the quarantine.
I feel like I saw a lot of shows too. I'm trying to do my top 5 of TV shows that I do every year. I've done it every year since like 2014. And I'm trying to come up with my list. Like low key, I think my list ain't that great. I almost feel like putting Kyrie and Kevin Durant on IG as like one of my favorite shows of the year. Did you see that, bro?
I haven't seen that. No,
it's an experience. It is an experience. For reference, Sabrina, Kyrie Irving is like a really trippy. I don't know how to describe the guy. Like he's a really trippy Zen, like literally Zen dude, who like hates everyone. He like literally hates everyone. And he calls every time he plays basketball art. He's like, you must watch my art, and you must not speak any ill of me, because I am performing from a past life, and my past life is communicating from my future life, and it's telling me to dunk the basketball. And he's just like he's like a really interesting. That's the best way I can put it, dude. And he's sitting like literally like cross-legged on the floor, like hands down, talking to his teammate Kevin Durant, who's like one of the best basketball players ever. Both of them are, to be honest. And he's just like, man, if you just give me the ball, I can produce points. And he's like, yeah, man, but I'm good at scoring too. And he's like, but you must give me the ball, and I can give you the point. And it's just so crazy.
Odd energy.
It's one of the weirdest things I've seen in 2020, but it's still so entertaining. Yeah.
I came up with my blah blah blah. I remembered what it was. Too much Tylenol today. Coherence, actually, 2013's Coherence. I know RB3. Yes, that was my favorite non-2020 film that I watched this year. That was so freaking good. Oh my god, I absolutely loved every single thing about it. You guys need to check it out. I thought it was going to be completely overrated because RB3 hyped it up. I saw somebody on film Twitter hyping it up, so I'm like, let's check this out. And I was just absolutely mind blown. I loved it.
Can I give a shout out now that you've reminded me? Because I reviewed a movie for Geeks of Color that I don't think anyone saw. Synchronic from Moorhead, Aaron Moorhead and his brother, I think, the Moorhead brothers. It's a small sci-fi thriller starring Anthony Mackie that I saw through like a screening and everything. Like I was one of the first ones to see it based off the link. And I don't think anyone saw this movie, but it's clear. It's definitely like in my top 5, maybe even top 3 of the year. Just really well done, low budget sci-fi that has Anthony Mackie giving a really good performance. And it has like a really good like emotional thread throughout that is like super 2020 vibes. So when I saw it, I was feeling it. But that's a good one too. I wrote a review about that if you want to check it out on Geeks of Color. But yeah, bro, I feel like in this week in film Twitter, I think we've all been being clowned on. Just bashed, bro. Yeah. It started with me because I was the first one to tweet out. And I was like, bro, I know my take is going to be spicy. And then Sabrina followed me up. And then you followed me up later that night.
Yeah.
And I think all of us were on the same page. And we all got cramped. I think if you look at my original tweet, it has like 48 replies. And all of them are like, how dare you question our God? Like, I'm being honest, bro. Like, all of them are like,
our sure white king. Our sure white king.
How dare you question our God that we worship inside the cinemas? Every time he risks his life, he does it for us. He does it for the cross. I mean, for us, for the theaters.
I straight up had to delete my tweet.
It's true,
and that's
though.
The thing. That's not even film Twitter.
I thought about
it. Film Twitter was on the same page as us. It's
really?
like, yeah, it's like a different. That's not film Twitter.
Okay.
Film Twitter is on the same page as us.
It's old white man Twitter that we got caught in undressed. Unfortunately, I think that's where we got caught.
I don't know, man.
I feel like film Twitter.
Yeah,
I got a lot of crap for it, but again, like, bro, you've been a PA, bro.
Yes.
You worked on set.
Yes.
I've been a full-time like work PA. Like, I know what it is. That's why when I tweeted that, I was like, bro, I've worked 16-hour days and been told you have like 10 minutes left to eat your lunch, been told to not go anywhere, been told to not sit down, been told to grab that, to grab this, to grab the other thing, been told to stay on set longer than anyone else. and then someone's coming at me, yelling at me, saying I should be grateful, and while they're getting paid $30 million, nah, fam, I'm good. I'm getting paid $14.
Yeah.
Working the same amount you are, you're getting paid 30. I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna
working. Actually, probably harder. And that's the thing too.
Yes.
Like I think that's the thing that people like. And I said it yesterday in one of my tweets. Like the internet weirdos who are like celebrating it are either
That's my thing.
people who never actually worked on set, so they have like actually no idea what they're talking about, or B, people who actually want to be on camera talent and actually want to talk to people that way. And hey, that just goes to show you people who not to work with. And you know, it's funny too, because unfortunately a lot of the people, and I also hate to say this as well, but unfortunately a lot of the people who are taking shots at us are people who I've seen or I've talked to, and they have cried about being stepped over or being, disrespected or not having the same opportunities. It's like, yeah, because you're not a man enough to stand up for yourself. So I mean, it's just kind of funny how for some reason people took me and Andres's and Sabrina's stance as like being weak, like not wanting to be yelled at as being weak. Like, no, I think having self-respect is probably the strongest thing an individual human could ever strive for. Like,
that's
just
my
because
thing too.
you don't have self-respect or you don't have self-esteem doesn't mean you can take it out on other people.
That's the thing is that
Go ahead,
in
Sabrina.
any situation, well, not even being on a set, because everyone's like, oh, have you ever been on set and whatever, and like, even though like I haven't, there was a job that I worked when I was 19, and the boss never yelled at me, but the second I heard that tape, it brought me back to the way he would yell at other people, like just crazy. People were quitting left and right. That's not how you build trust and a bond as like a boss or whatever. It's just not right to talk to people that way when you're in a position of power and they're clearly under you. If you want to, my biggest thing, because everyone's like, oh, they broke the rules. Yes, 100%. I understand that. And if it was coming from a good place, like an apparently like good place, it'd be different. But it was a little bit more selfish. The way to go about it, that's not it. And you can talk to people or fire them. If they broke a serious rule, then guess what? Fire them. But you do not have to scream and berate people and just like talk down to others, especially people who are not in the same position. Like, they're not your equals. They're clearly below you. You don't need to make them feel worse about something. Like, they're overworked, underpaid. They don't need that. Just fire them if they make a mistake. I'm not defending these people for making a mistake. I'm just saying no one deserves to get screamed at for things just blown up at. It's just too much.
The more humane thing to do is to fire. And I told this story a little bit on yesterday's stream with Johnny on the Cardboard Castles stream. By the way, people want to contribute to the Cardboard Castles fundraiser. Thank you so much to everybody who watched last night. We raised over $500 on the campaign, and we did a really, really amazing job. But I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but there's a story I heard about Spike Lee that I'll never forget, right? And it goes a little bit like this. There's a big movie that came out around 2005, 2006 that Spike Lee was directing, right? And one of the white studio executives was like, hey, my son wants to get in the industry. My son wants to do whatever. Let's have him work on this Spike Lee movie. Let's have him work on the set. So this kid was doing nothing. He was millie mouthing around, like not doing much. Typical white privilege, just kind of being on set and just doing nothing and getting paid for it, right? So Spike Lee sees the kid one day on set, sees the kid just kind of standing there doing nothing. He pulls his assistant director over and is like, hey, who's that guy? And the AD explains to him, and he's like, okay, will you go over there and fire him for me? And he just walks away and never looked back. And to me, it's like, I feel, and to me, that's where I respect more, to quote a famous Lil Wayne song, real G's move in silence like lasagna. So, it's berating people and yelling and embarrassing and humiliating somebody in front of an entire crew of people, a team in which you as a producer are responsible for creating like a team camaraderie, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a felony on your part. And people are like, oh, you never play sports. Sports is different, bro. You're competing. You're actually competing to win. You're competing to do, and you're getting paid. People on the court, there's pay differences of people on the court, but you're still getting paid hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. The Tom Cruise is getting paid millions of dollars, yelling at somebody who's getting paid, maybe a couple, 20, 30 grand off this one project. So it's just silly to think that there is some sort of power balance there, and you could justify that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I mean, that's my thing too. Is like, it's not even about like being yelled at. Like, I see a couple people in the chat being like, "Hey, you've never been yelled at? Whatever, it's normal. This is what they do." Like, I could see someone saying like, "Oh, they yell at you in sports and stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's different." Number one, the whole like being yelled at thing. Like, it's so funny seeing white people come at me being like, "You've never been yelled at," when I grew up in the most intense Latino family household. Like, bro,
I'm like, yo, don't you know I'm from Compton? Like, hey, what's wrong with you? Bro, like, are you stupid?
Like, I still get yelled at, and I'm a full grown man. Like, bro, I get yelled at all the time from my family. Like, this is not even like, don't come at me with that, because I will kill you. That's one.
I will put you through a war.
No, but I'm being real. Like, if you compare me to you, like, trust me, like, it's a lot. My thing too is like, it's a job, number one. Number two, it wasn't even like the whole like wording or that. It was the 2.5 minutes of berating. That's what did it for me. Where it's like, if you're really pissed, like, let's say these guys, like, everyone's like, these guys broke the rules before. If these guys, okay, fine. Let's say this is like the third time these guys have been caught together, like straight up standing next to each other. Like, the real thing to do is to quietly go up to them. And if Tom Cruise feels the initiative to do this, even though he doesn't have to, even though he can delegate, and that's a little bit more respectful to delegate it and to say to, like you said, to an associate director, to a producer, and say, hey, can you tell those guys to stop? That's the correct thing to do. That's number one. Number two, if he really felt the initiative to say, I need to be the ones to tell them because they need to see my face, then you can go up to them and be like, hey guys, come on, 6 feet apart. What the fuck? This is the third time. Come on, guys. Use your head. Come on.
Yeah.
And then back up. That's it.
Yeah.
They're going to get the message. Not a 2.5 minute, like, I proclaim upon thee, irresponsible.
Yeah.
The entire industry, the eyes of the world is upon you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is like so
stupid,
disrespectful, stupid, using your power to demean someone who is clearly way, way beneath you, making less than 1% that you make. That's what did it for me. It's the 2.5 minute monologue. Like, bro, I can almost imagine the set with cameras on him, and he knew the cameras were on him. He knew that people were recording him, and he decided to make it even bigger. And it's like, that's not how you do it. If you're really pissed, and if these guys are really breaking the rules, say, hey, stop. Be direct, be upfront, do it quietly, then back away. Don't do a 2.5 minute theatrical play. Like, that's ridiculous.
100%. And the thing is, like, also with just seeing people praise that on Twitter, it's odd because obviously also, like, we can all have our different opinions. Somebody could see that and be like, hell yeah, like, whatever. I'm not going to judge you. That's your choice. But then to like go after other people who think differently, just like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's such weird behavior. We talked about it kind of around the election time when I talked about how people like go to bat for celebrities for some reason. People will defend certain celebrities and certain behaviors almost like they want to be at that level.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, if I was at Tom Cruise's level, you know, I would do the same thing. I want to be that one day. Like, guess what? Most likely, none of us are going to be Tom Cruise. Yeah. But you know what? This person is a lot closer to the reality of where we're at. Put yourself in that person's shoes. That's the biggest thing. And I just don't know what it is that it's so weird to see people praising talking weird. Down to others. That was the biggest thing because all I saw on the timeline.
And you know, and it would have been a different thing if he was talking about the health of the crew, the safety of the crew. He didn't mention any of that stuff once in this 2.5 minute tirade. He was talking about the money, you know, people at work, the future of the industry, SAG, you know, and people. I'm so sick of people on Twitter just saying the most ridiculous things like SAG was going to shut down. What are you talking about? What? Do you even know how silly you sound when you say things like that? It's just there's like this whole culture of like celebrity worship that like, you know, we've kind of gotten into. Like, no matter what, people are going to heroize and iconize anything and everything that a celebrity does. And it's like, no, it's celebrities are people too. And as someone who's worked on a number of sets, especially with high profile celebrities, a lot, That's not the attitude you should bring. And if you bring that attitude, you're being disrespectful. That's just it. And, it would have been, and also too, and you know what? And let me just be real with this too. It would have been a different thing if a mask was off. It would have been a different thing if somebody was, touching everywhere. But what the report says, they're literally standing 2 feet away from each other, looking at a monitor. Like, that's the most easily diffusable situation in the entire world. But yet it didn't get diffused because, I'm sure maybe Tom, he didn't get enough sleep. Maybe he was actually on the phone all night and didn't get enough sleep, and he misplaced his anger on this crew member. And that's the thing. Like, we have to at least, like, if that's the case, that's fine. Say that. Apologize for that. But don't have a bunch of 40-year-old white people, or, not just white people, 40-year-old people online saying, hey, yeah, good for Tom Cruise for standing up and being a Karen, because we've been hating Karens this entire time. But we love it when one of our favorite celebrities does it for no justifiable reason, to curse out somebody who makes way less than them. Because, and I think the deeper subtext to that is, when it comes to particular people, especially in our space, they've been yelled at so many times before in their lives that they're excited to get to doing some yelling to some other people. And I'm new in this industry. I'm, 4.5 years in. But I'm just proud enough to say I got enough self-respect to not get talked to a lot of the way some of these guys get talked to behind the scenes. So.
And my thing too is, like, a lot of people are saying, like, it's about COVID, it's about COVID, it's about, like, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. COVID is so serious. It's important. Like, people should be safe. That's not the issue. It's not a one or the other. It's not so you think COVID's fake now? And I'm like, when did I say that? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, like, if it really was about COVID, then you go up to them, you quickly diffuse the situation. You don't do a giant show. You don't proclaim it. You don't cuss out. You don't have to be rude just because it's a serious situation. Yes, COVID is serious. Yes, they shouldn't be breaking the rules, but simply because it's a serious situation doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful, to be demeaning, and to use your power to step on others. That's not the way to do it. I get it. It's COVID. If he really wanted to do it, he could have done it quietly. He could have done it direct, and he could have done it quickly, not doing a giant show in front of people to show and to demonstrate that Tom Cruise cares about COVID. And it's like, that's the headline, right? When it should be Tom Cruise grandstands for 2.5 minutes while to a crew member who probably is getting paid way less than he is for standing too close to each other. Like, come on, man, diffuse the situation, walk away. It doesn't have to be one or the other, as far as, yes, COVID is important, but doesn't give you the right to be completely rude and out of line. That's it. All I'm saying is, you don't have to celebrate this. And the fact that all of my timeline decided to say, he's a hero, he saved lives, he is the greatest of them all, we should be celebrating him, Tom Cruise, and I'm just, he's like,
saving the industry.
What?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And like, we can separate the two, man.
And thank you for I don't know who just pointed out in the chat just now. MK Songbird just pointed out in the chat. I just looked it up to verify myself. Yeah, 5 crew members have just quit Mission Impossible 7 because of Tom Cruise going on another tirade. So yeah, I it's funny because I get attacked a lot on Twitter. Sabrina has been getting attacked a lot on Twitter. We all get attacked a lot on Twitter for just saying the right thing. And it's funny how just being an arbiter for change and being a voice for advocating for the right thing is just so unpopular until the moments that it becomes verifiable. So I think, and just to conclude on this subject, if I was to, or for at least for me, because I don't have much else to say, it's not a personal thing with Tom Cruise for me. Like, I actually enjoy Tom Cruise's movies a lot. As I've said multiple times on First Cut, Mission Impossible franchise is my favorite franchise in the world. And they've been filming MI7 and 8 for forever, because they had shutdowns, but also people are forgetting, like, they also blew up a bridge, like a historic bridge, while shooting this movie. They did some other, like, stupid, crazy nonsense in the beginning of production. So this has been nothing but a Tom Cruise messing up the world, series of filming this movie. And I get it, times are tough, COVID's tough, but even pre-COVID, like, take a sip of humble tea and, you know, understand that, you know, not everybody's in this Scientology, you know, hierarchy bubble where we're paying our way to the top. You know, some people actually at the bottom actually do have self-respect and don't want to get talked to, kind of crazy. And I know for me personally, I don't care how much money I'm making. If somebody as big as Tom Cruise is going to come up to me and disrespect me that kind of way, and I said it a bunch of times, I'm quitting. And the people who say they won't quit are the people who aren't making it. The people who say they aren't quitting, and the people who say they you know, they don't respect themselves enough to not tolerate being yelled at. Okay, well, you know, that's why you're at the same, you know, position that you're at now. So.
And my thing too is like I keep seeing people in the chat being like, "But they broke the rules, but they did it. It's wrong, and it's COVID, and it's this and the court. It doesn't matter.
Wrong. Two things can be wrong. Two things can be wrong.
Yes, you're right. They broke the rules. Yes, you're right. They should not do that. Yes, they're right. COVID is serious. It doesn't matter. It doesn't justify one thing. It doesn't justify the actions, and that's why I think it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Not necessarily that, you know, people were like, "Oh, COVID is serious." That's not the message people latched onto. They latched onto Tom Cruise is badass. Tom Cruise is a hero. He should be celebrated. And that's what rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, no, that's not what you guys should be focusing on. That is not the headline of the story. And again,
enough of that. Enough of that celebrity worship. Like, come on. Just because somebody does something, like all of us have been yelling that same thing over and over to situations that actually deserve it. Like, come on. We're not like berating people and like talking down to others and doing things like that. We're just like, yo, put on a mask, yo, do this thing.
Right.
But come on, this wasn't anything. He wasn't doing it for any other reason but the exact response that he got. Basically, he wasn't talking about the actual serious stuff. He wasn't talking about genuinely saving the industry. I cannot believe people put the label of him saving the industry. Tom Cruise is single-handedly saving the industry on his own. Okay.
I saw saving lives on my timeline too. So
Saving lives.
My God.
Yeah, just the most.
Jesus
people are just
Christ.
getting nuts with it, like
Holy
ridiculous. Like, and again, and you know, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it too. If it was a black person who did it, this wouldn't be the situation. You see everybody, all of these same white people or white passing people go on their platforms and say, "Oh yeah, that's messed up. They shouldn't have did that." You know, and Roy Woods Jr. put out a great, hilarious tweet, you know, about the, like, you know, he was talking about like how it's funnier to just fire somebody midday and them get replaced. I think that's a lot more impactful. That's also true. But also there's the Aunt Viv thing, right? Like I just watched the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing like a couple weeks ago when they were talking about how Aunt Viv got essentially she wasn't fired, she just left the show, but there was this perception that she was unworkable with, like she like was all this stuff, and those are toxic words to put on black people. Now imagine if the audio recording for her maybe supposed outburst, which by the way, she even says in the documentary, was because she was dealing with abusive situations at home and she was coming to work, and then Will wasn't being like the best coworker. But if those tapes came out, people would have scrutinized her for that. But when these tapes come out of an older white rich dude, you know, going off and yelling at somebody underpaid, it's, you know, people are amazed by it. So it just goes to show you this like kind of ugly, disgusting capitalist system that we live in. So.
Yeah, and again, we can move on from this. And again, I definitely want to move on from this. And I didn't even get into what I texted you guys about the whole, like, we can get into the Scientology of it all, which is even worse if you look into it. But I won't, because obviously people see what they see as far as what Tom Cruise's reputation is. And I get that. But again, it's one of those situations where I really don't get the idea of, yeah, but it's COVID, so it deserved a 2.5-minute monologue filled with F-bombs and demeaning. Like, no, it didn't. Like, it's really simple. Like, even if you're really upset and you wanted to personally tell these guys, you can do it in 10 seconds. Like, you don't have to prolong this rant that he was doing. And that's what upset me about it the most, is like, quickly go up to them and be like, dude, come on, 6 feet apart. Come on, guys, third time. Come on. That's it. Boom, done. Like, if you wanted to do it, just say that and then walk away. And they'll get it. They'll get the point, because it's Tom Cruise telling them, like, my God.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We can move on just because I feel like everything's getting too spicy.
Yeah, but I mean, I would just like to say, hey, Mike or Roka or whoever wants to subtweet me again, please just tag me. That's all I ask. I have no personal beefs with y'all. But if y'all want to have some beef, I could talk all day and go all day about how sorry I feel for y'all. So that's all. That's where I'm just going to leave that at. So.
Yeah, my thing too is like that's you. But if my thing too is like I see people on Twitter and stuff, and I'm just like, bro, like my thing is like I don't start beef with anyone. Like my thing is like if they want to say something, that's cool. Mm-hmm. My thing is like I don't necessarily have to have the same opinion.
Shout out to the FC crew. Black power, brown power.
Thank you.
Our generation for the win. Keep saying what needs to be said and do the research outside mainstream bipartisan big budget media. The 20s officially begins next year and I too believe we can own it.
100%. Thank you so much to the McGrilla. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All I'm saying is like I ain't got no beef with nobody. I'm trying to start nothing. My thing is like just because I disagree with you doesn't mean we have to like.
Yeah. No. It shouldn't be like that at all.
War.
No. It doesn't have to be.
I don't got time for that, bro. That's why I don't reply to anybody.
Yeah. No, people just get real bold with the subtweets though.
Yeah.
I saw a few that kind of got me.
Yeah.
This happens all the time. Subtweets are the most ridiculous shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like, bam, just go message somebody, tag somebody, do whatever you want. What's the point of subtweeting? It's just so lame and it looks so weird on that person.
Yeah.
What was weird about it was, I'm sorry, I'm done. I don't want to keep. What was weird about it is just it was just towards us three though.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that weird?
Well, it's just funny because like
all I saw on my timeline, I was like, wait a minute, it's literally me, Sabrina, and RB3.
Lon, salute to Lon. Lon was also Lon was good on some things.
Yeah,
and there's some people who I saw. I think Sabrina's right though. I think on film Twitter, like the younger side of film Twitter, people were like advocating for the right thing. It was when you get to the older side of Twitter, the Peller side of Twitter. Was when things got a little more celebratory towards their white savior Tom Cruise. And hey, again, I love Tom, but
God, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I love Tom, but you're not more of a man to me because you jumped out a couple planes or want to hop on a spaceship. Like that doesn't make you more of a man to me personally. So for some people it might, but not for me.
Yeah, that's my thing too. Is like, bro, like. If you see like there's this article out there, I think it's Daily Beast, but they talk about like, bro, like this is the same guy from like the Scientology church, which is known for abusing people. Like y'all all tripping over yourselves, like celebrating this guy.
Yeah.
Like chill, fam, for real, chill. Anyway, that has been our first cut.
Yeah, enough of Boomer Twitter. No, we actually do have a Streamlab donation that wasn't read out loud. Sorry, I had it pulled up just a second ago. I'm always so bad at this. But people, if you want to contribute to the show, firstcut.live. The link is at the top of the chat and it's also at the top of the description down below. And we do have a question coming in from the beginning of the show from House Heisenberg, who says, "Hey Ace, I have a very serious question. How does Darth Maul take a dump? I'm not sure.
I have no idea, man. But thank you for the question.
There's a joke in there. I don't know what the joke is, but thank you, House Heisenberg.
From both ends? On both sides? I don't know.
Because he have multiple legs, right? Like he got, how many legs he got?
I guess he doesn't. I guess that's the answer.
Yeah.
Because it's robotic.
Yeah. See, that's true. I guess
that's the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we also have an announcement. I kind of want to hand it off the baton to Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Oh,
yes.
Because we got a big announcement, Sabrina, coming up next year. Obviously, we don't have all the details, but it is coming up next year. So let us know what's up.
Yeah, so you guys have kind of been asking for it for a hot minute. And, when you take this kind of step, we just wanted to make sure that we would have the time and energy to be able to give you guys all the benefits that we possibly can. So coming up next year, I'm so happy. We've been talking about this for a while, but we are actually going to be starting a Patreon. We're going to have multiple tiers. We're going to be having so many different benefits. And this will kind of allow us the tools to be able to continue on with our podcast, continue on doing these live streams, adding more content, adding short form, having more editing, video essays, commentary, just kind of all over the place. Like we'll definitely be making another video announcing everything in detail. But I'm just really, really freaking excited because this also allows us to be able to have like a Discord and we can engage with you guys more, hear what you guys want to talk about. So I'm pumped. Throwing it to you, RB3.
The First Cut Patreon will be coming at the very, very top of 2021. Like everything Sabrina said, it'll just help us do more. Like we've been talking a lot about some more like other content ideas that we have. I don't want to give away our sauce right now. So let me just stop saying stuff. But I mean, we have so many like great content ideas. We could really upgrade the show like technically too, from a technical perspective. Right now I'm just kind of running things off of like this like little rink-a-dink laptop, and we could actually have part of it will also be too getting another editor on board to help us edit our videos, help us get more clips out there, because I enjoy clips. We enjoy shorter content. Like we want to do video essays. Like we just always kind of run into this. It's funny because on the First Cut like little title about thing, we promised video essays, but we never gotten really around to it, and it's just very difficult because they take a lot to edit. And I'm barely I love this and I love doing all of this, but I'm pretty spread out then as it is, working full time and doing this. So having another editor on board will really help us. And then on top of that, we could have more fun stuff on Twitch, right? We could do things. We could do more things on. TikTok is something that we've been looking into very, very heavy as well. I think a Patreon is just going to help us grow and expand and get us in front of more people as possible. And for the First Cut Live viewers, we won't have to come on here haggling for money every week the same kind of way if y'all are just supporting us monetarily every month. So again, we're hoping to keep growing this channel. We've had an incredible amount of growth in 2020, and I want to thank all of our supporters and listeners and live stream watchers for getting us there. We've went from literally about a year ago having 352 subscribers to now having 3.6 thousand. And what an incredible, literally 10 times the amount of growth. And we hope to continue that growth going forward. And the Patreon is really the way to go about it. So thank y'all. And I hope y'all are open to supporting us going forward.
Also, any ideas that you guys have, let us know. Tweet at us. Let us know right here in the comments. If you want to send in a super chat, we can read it. If anything you want to see, I'm open to almost anything when it comes to this kind of content because it isn't necessarily YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be mad at like if we want to do a reaction to something, if we want to do a reaction to a show or a movie or a commentary, or if it's like the first time. Yeah. So if it's the first time one of us watches a certain movie, or if it's the first time, I don't know, I sit down Sabrina and RB3 to watch Attack on Titan. That's an example. I don't know. I'm open to any idea, anything you guys want to see. Speaking of Attack on Titan.
Oh, yes.
I also want to do more Attack on Titan stuff, if I'm being honest, guys. I know you guys don't care for it.
I do.
I don't care.
I love it.
No, not you guys. I'm saying like people watch it. They don't watch. So I don't really know. But my thing is like, regardless of that, I just think it's really cool, and I love the show so much. So this is a love of mine, and I want to talk about it a lot more. So I want to work on maybe even doing a video essay or two on Attack on Titan, or a top 5 list or something like that. Another one that we can do, have more guests on that are around the Attack on Titan world. So if there's YouTubers that also review or talk about or react to Attack on Titan, and you want to see them on First Cut, holler at them, let them know. And I would maybe love to have them on. So
and that's also what's dope about having a Patreon too, is how much more we can up things, right? Like I feel like we had a great year adding new shows like Sabak the Block and Netflix Roulette and all these, really great programs. Obviously, First Cut Live started in 2020 as well. All these really great programs. At first, the channel was just me and Andres doing the meaning of and doing movie reviews by ourselves, and now we have so much more going on. And we've seen growth because of it. And we've seen people who are attached to this channel. Like we have a big Star Wars audience thanks to Andres and thanks to Sabak the Block. We have Attack on Titan people. We have people, if people who love like black and white movies, old movies, could watch our meaning of and Citizen Kane coverage, and like we have so much stuff like currently there. Imagine what happens when we get like a consistent amount of like funding behind it, like how much better things are going to be like with that. So I'm excited for our Patreon when we get around to making dropping it. We'll have a big video that's going to explain the individual tiers and all that kind of stuff. But man, I think the future of First Cut's looking mighty, mighty exciting. And by the way, we could do more giveaways. Like I know we kind of had a giveaway thing in the beginning, and I kind of fell off on that. My apologies with that. But we could have more giveaways. We could show some more love to the fans, and we can have an actual marketing budget to maybe get more people on watching the videos and watching the channel. So.
That's the thing. Like Patreon's really great for a lot of reasons. One, we have a specific audience that, has a tie to us, gets specific content that they want to see. And the tiers kind of, show that. And the Discord will allow you guys to have an outlet to be able to contact us in any way. You guys can have your own chats about the content that you're watching on First Cut. And then also, this allows us to expand in all different directions. Like we said, implementing video essays to the channel, doing all of that, doing reviews solo, just pumping out so much more content. So if you like to see our content and you like to enjoy it, then we are here to definitely provide more coming in 2021. And that's something I find to be so exciting because, of course, all of us have our own things going on. But like RB3 said, this past year has been so crazy. We started the year, I believe it was like January 1st or 2nd or 3rd, by crossing over to 1,000. And now we're only like 400 away from 4,000. And it's just going to continue going, even with all the issues and the stalls from the pandemic, not being able to see each other. A little bit got halted, but we still continued on. And I'm just super proud to be along on this journey with you guys and just excited for everything the future has for us.
Yeah, I love it. I love hanging out with you guys. I saw that Knives Out spoiler review that we did last year.
Yeah.
I rewatched it and I was like, yo, look at this crew, man. Look at us vibing.
Yeah.
You guys are great. And I love our dynamic, and I'm hoping that maybe this is a way to expand that dynamic and let other people know the kind of chemistry that we're mixing in here. Yeah. We're like the 3 Hocus Pocus sisters, just like mixing it in, like trying to make that potion. I don't know which one are you, RB3.
I don't remember their names, so that was gonna say.
I'm Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, okay. I'm
the cat.
But I was also gonna say too, we had a lot of memorable moments like outside of the channel too. I feel like this year, I feel like we did a really great like the Bibiani podcast. My dinner with Andre was really cool. You were obviously we were both on Star Wars Explained, and back in July, and you were just on there again. We're all on Nerdist. Wasn't that cool? This year too. So
like 3 months apart. Three months later, Sabrina. 3 months later, me. It was cool.
Yeah. So we've and of course, like everything with Geeks of Color and everything, we've had so many great moments this year.
Speaking of that, anyone in the chat, can I throw out a challenge to you guys just because I'm feeling weird and bold?
Yeah.
If you guys want to see us on other channels, holler at them. Let them know. Tweet at them. I know there's some other great nerdy channels, movie channels, whether it's channels that we like Cinefx, or maybe it's channels that you like that are more nerdier, like maybe a new Rockstars, or we've been on Only Stupid Answers as well. I think.
We've all been on Only Stupid Answers. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
But channels like that, let them know, like, hey, we want to see more of this, more of that. It actually works. I actually got something yesterday just based off someone tweeting at someone.
Oh wow!
So stuff like that works out. It's not that big, but it's one of those things where it makes sense. It fits. So if you want to see that, let them know that, hey, these guys are actually real, like physical people. So they can actually come on your channel. It works out. And if you want to see that, let them know. Because I'm sure you guys like other YouTubers, kind of like I like other YouTubers. So. Yeah.
And also, even for people to come on the meaning of, definitely suggest people for us to reach out to. Tweet at people, like suggest them checking us out, and we can reach out to them. Stuff like that. We're really open to expanding in all different directions, checking out a bunch of other content, covering topics that maybe we wouldn't normally think to do, just the three of us. I think it's cool to just introduce a lot of that into the channel.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's, and you know, and people who are worried and who are watching live and are thinking, I'm unfortunately not able to contribute monetarily, or I'm not able to contribute, you know, with a Patreon or donate live. That's absolutely 100% okay. Like, we've all had hard times, you know, we've all been in rough times. I understand that. If you really want to help us and support us, the literal easiest thing to do is just hit that like button. I mean, that's so easy. And people really don't understand, like, that really helps. Like, for some of our Sabak the Block episodes, like, you know, when we did, I think we did one that was like the 50 likes challenge at the end before we got 50 likes per in the stream. And, excuse me, I coughed. But we did that one, and that's one of our highest episodes. And people don't understand, like, literally just hitting the like button is literally all it takes to get in front of somebody else. And if you want to do more than that, if you're really a big fan, like Andres said, tweet at people to come on the show, tweet at people to have us on their shows. Because I know Andres would be great on the Star Wars show, like the actual Star Wars, you know, they have shows, right? They have the Star Wars show, Andres, right?
Yeah, but I think that's just Anthony and Andy. I don't think they.
But I mean, they interview people.
They could replace them with me.
Yeah. They interview people too. So I mean,
shout out to Andy though. She's a fellow Colombiana.
Yeah,
she's my Latina girl, Star Wars girl. So.
Yeah, and salute to all. I mean, honestly, to having us being on more platforms and having us promote ourselves more and helping us promote First Cut more, just retweeting the First Cut TMO, following First Cut TMO, and making sure that we have, you know, people who are finding out about this channel and helping us grow. That's really the dopest way to support. That's really the second dopest way to support. First dopest way will be supporting the Patreon when we launch it. Second dopest way will be liking and supporting and sharing.
Yeah, I'm actually almost curious to see if anyone's in the chat right now. I see Pete Wiz in there, BCD, Hey Tack. I see Snorlax. Cinema Grill is obviously in here. What are some of your favorite YouTubers? I'm actually genuinely curious.
Yeah, put me on, because I'm really actively looking for more channels to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I have my usual of like Internet Today. Shout out to Ricky and Elliot. Obviously, you guys know them from the Schmodown.
Right.
Those homies are like some of my favorites. I've seen some other guys like Lessons from a Screenplay, Patrick H. Willems.
Oh yeah. The video.
Those homies are still dope.
There was one black reviewer who I discovered, black woman reviewer who I discovered recently, and I can't remember.
Do you guys
their
watch
name.
Pay Your Weight?
No, I think that might be.
I love her.
Yeah, yes.
She's incredible. That's another channel. Pay Your Weight.
Yes.
That's another channel that I've been watching for a long time. So love her. Carson Runquist is another one that I really like. Yeah, Pay Your Weight's great. A lot of great interviews, great reviews, things like that, because there's just so much personality. I love when people are genuine. And so if you're looking for content that's seriously genuine and unbiased, Pay Your Weight is such a great channel to check out. I would absolutely
Pay Your Weight?
Pay or Wait.
Oh, Pay Your Weight.
Are people paying Grace Randolph in the chat to troll us? They gotta be trolling.
I mean, I don't think they are. There's a lot of people who like it, though.
They gotta be trolling us. They gotta be. Hey, we got Grace Randolph here in the building. If you want to see Grace Randolph come out, $50 on First Cut Live.
Yeah, if you want to see Vegeta, he's gonna cost us $100.
Yeah.
Send $50, guys. Come on.
People, please cook up a scene. Cook up a scene with Grace Randolph, Vegeta, and Michael B. Jordan. Let's cook up that scene real quick. Because
what's another one that you were saying? RB3.
Cinefix, film theorist, the film theorist. obviously does game theory. I'm sorry, film theory. Obviously Matt Pack from Game Theory, Film Theory. I'm trying to think if there's any other. If I'm being real, if I'm being honest, Netflix Film Club is actually one that I watch a lot too, surprisingly enough. But if I'm being honest, I don't really watch a lot of movie YouTube as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't either.
Yeah. I used to, obviously, but there's not a lot for them to talk about during this time. So I've been watching a lot of like anime YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to them. A lot of anime reactors. I think they're great. It's a lot of fun to see them react to Attack on Titan. So you guys know who those people are. So shout out to them.
All right.
I've been watching mainly those people because I think I'm in an Attack on Titan phase right now where everything is Attack on Titan. But when it comes to like movie stuff, I still feel like I just recently watched the rated R superhero video that Patrick H. Williams did. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen that one. No.
Really? You guys should watch it. It's something that I've been kind of leaning towards for a minute. But it's such a hot take that it's probably even hotter than the cruise take. But he talks about how like why rated R though. Literally why rated R though. When it comes to superhero movies, it's getting a little redundant, just a little bit, and I really agree, like a lot agree. But if you see his POV, his point of view, the way he spells it out, it's really interesting.
Somebody in the chat said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, all good.
I was also going to say Mr. Sunday Movies. I do watch them a lot. Somebody put Geeks and Gamers. All right, now y'all really trolling.
I think he said LOL. So
Okay.
I got you, Saad.
Ralph the Movie Maker and Your Movie Suck. I love Your Movie Suck. That one.
Dane
is really good.
Dane Smith in the chat.
Dane Smith. It's about to be read out loud. Don't worry. It's about to be read out loud.
Okay.
Janine the Machine's Crew. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ralph the Movie Maker.
Ralph the Movie Maker is dope. Dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, Ralph the Movie Maker is dope. Who's that one video essay we used to listen to? Andres. They do more hip hop stuff now, but
which one, man?
They did Atlanta video essays, and then they did Atlanta. Can't remember. Kanye essays, video essays.
Did someone say $50? Just playing. Happy holidays, you all.
Thank you, Dang. Thank you, Dang. All right,
thanks,
we hit that. Dane. Hey, man, thanks so much for donating to First Cut Live. You know, what I mean,
wait, who is that?
Who, me? What I'm doing right now?
Yeah,
it's Michael B. Jordan, bro. Come on now. Come on, hey man, Michael B. Jordan, man. Come on.
Is that what he does?
I mean, he ain't face acting. I mean, come on. Are you saying he's not the greatest face actor in the entire world? I mean, come on, bro. If you ain't ready to hand me my Oscar right now, I mean, come on, man. We're going. Hey, auntie, what's going on?
That's so mean.
$50, people. $50. Thank you, Dan.
Man.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't even know.
Cinema Gorilla mentions Mance review with y'all was legendary. Yeah, that was awesome to have Scott Mance on. I was just like, everything Scott Mance was saying during that Citizen Kane episode, I was just like, I just want to listen to him talk about it for so long. It was amazing.
He was just dropping gem after gem after gem. That was one of the best episodes
was crazy.
I feel like we've done. And
also, G. Smith says Maggie May Fish. I recently found out who she was. She's great. She does a few videos every couple of months, but she does like some film stuff.
Shout out to Breakfast All Day too. I used to literally be the biggest stand for What the Flick. Like I remember there was a period in 2013.
Oh yeah. Is that Matt Atchity? I love those guys.
Yeah. And Ben Mankiewicz, who actually is the grandson of Herman Mankiewicz, and was a cameo in Mank. I didn't know that, but I think he follows me on Twitter. In hindsight, we probably should have asked him to be on our Mank.
I mean, we got Scott.
Yeah, we got Scott. That's even better. But Breakfast All Day is dope, and I also want to say too, the What the Flick people. There was literally a day I remember when I first discovered them in 2013 on this very computer that we're streaming off now. I remember there was one day where I watched literally about 20 or 30 videos of them back to back to back because I just discovered them. I was like, yo, these are the smartest critics like I've ever seen. Like, so salute to them. Breakfast All Day is really, really dope too.
Yes, they're so great. And another one, I just want to give a quick shout out. So in 2018, especially towards the end of the year, I went through a very, very difficult few months, and something that legit got me through it. Like, this was the hardest few months of my entire life. I discovered Pretty Much It in 2018.
Oh yeah.
Pretty Much It was like the first thing to make me freaking laugh in so long. I binged so many Pretty Much It videos. I could rewatch them over and over again. So I love Pretty Much It.
I love their 13 Reasons Why series. Have you seen their most recent one?
Yeah.
It's so good. They're like, oh my God, it's a riot. The riot episode. I haven't seen 13 Reasons Why since season 1, but them watching 13 Reasons Why is really, really funny.
Yeah,
because it's kind of insane. I remember when I watched the Knives Out review, guys, and I said, yo, when Hannah Baker showed up. I was wearing that coat that RB3 made fun of me for. We're like, bro, why are you wearing that coat, bro? This ain't Michigan.
I said that. I gotta see.
You said that to me
in the review.
No, I don't think you said it in the review. I think you said it right before we started recording.
Oh man,
I was like,
funny.
bro, I'm getting a little hot, bro. I was like, damn, bro, I'm getting a little hot right now. And you're like, yeah, bro, why are you wearing that? This ain't Michigan. That made me laugh so hard.
Oh man, Snorlax put in Captain Christian. I used to love Captain Christian. They haven't put out a video in like a year. A video essay. They did a Fincher one. They really only got like a handful of videos, and the super popular one that everybody talks about, Every Frame of Painting. I really missed that one too.
That's a great one. Nerd Writer's still great.
Writer's still doing great stuff. Yeah.
Film DJS said New Rockstars. Yeah, I love those guys. They do a lot of MCU stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big new Rockstar stan. Big new Rockstar stan.
I think I saw a couple other one that Double Toasted. Those guys are great, obviously.
Oh yeah. People know I love Double Toasted. So.
Yeah, Double Toasted is insane. They're what was it that they did that I kind of it was the HBO Max one. Really? Did you guys see their video for that?
I didn't see that one. No, I didn't see that
He
one.
went off, bro. Corey went off, and I laughed so hard.
Really?
If you just see the first 10 seconds of the video, they clip out the scene where he's like, yeah, no shit, they're shutting down theaters. Your theaters are shit, bro. I sit down on this film with shit. That sound system is shit. You guys deserve to go out of business. And I was like, no. He's low-key right, though.
Yeah.
He's low-key right, bro. That's why I go to ArcLight.
Yeah, ArcLight. Oh, I do want to shout out a couple of my favorite YouTubers who we were actually blessed to interview and talk to this year on the First Cut YouTube channel. Big shout out to Lindsay Ellis. I
love Lindsay.
We're all Lindsay Ellis stans, and she put out a great Borak 2 video recently about why Borak 2 is actually a really relevant sequel and even better than the first one. And I 100% agree. And she obviously did the Meaning of Podcast with us, and that one is still getting numbers to this day. It's actually creeping up to being one of our top videos. And then also another YouTuber too who gets a lot of scrutiny, but I think if you listen to our conversation that we had, you might have a different perspective, is Jeremy Scott from CinemaSins and CinemaSins in general. It was we talked a little bit about the whole like not controversy, but people feeling a certain type of way about their impact on the culture, and he answered to a lot of that stuff, and how he felt like he personally felt like people have been toxic in the film business since the beginning of time, since the 1950s when they used to protest and write letters, since 1988 when they were literally writing letters to Warner Brothers complaining about, Michael Keaton being cast as Batman. Like, the toxic fandom has always been there. You can't attribute that to one creator or one YouTuber. So on that level, I agree with CinemaSins on that. And I do genuinely, and I used to enjoy CinemaSins. I don't enjoy the channel as much now, but I still watch from time to time if there's something I enjoy. So
Yeah, it was really cool to get to interview Lindsay and to be able to talk to YouTubers that we really like. And obviously, she's doing her author thing and she's kicking ass there. So shout out to her. She was really cool, man. She like chilled with us afterwards too, which was something
she did.
I didn't expect. Yeah. She chilled with us for like the longest time, and I was like, "What is she doing?" She's just chilling.
yeah.
So that was really cool. Obviously, any final ones that we get? Oh, go ahead.
And definitely also the same thing with like filmmakers, like how we had Josh Trank on and other people like that. I would love to be able to talk to more directors about their filmographies. So you guys have suggestions about like smaller films that you've seen or bigger ones even, because obviously Josh Trank, like, you know, he's famous. So that was a really cool moment for us. I feel like getting to be able to talk about the industry and get a little bit of a peek into what he had to go through. I thought that moment was really cool. So other filmmakers, people, I would love to talk about all that stuff with them.
I would love to. I mean, listen, I would love to get Kevin Smith on the show, if I'm being real. Like, love to do a mini of Kevin Smith with Kevin Smith. You know, and nobody's from SCN's wanting to give me his email, so I can't do anything about it. But if everybody watching live will go and tweet at Kevin Smith and tell him, like, hey, you know, come on the meeting of, come on First Cut. It could happen. It could really happen. People look at Twitter and respond to things.
Yeah. I love your guys' tweets. I mean, not tweets, chats so far. The approximation says Trin Lovell. I don't know who that is, but she says her reactions are cool. He also says The Take. Also not sure what that is.
Okay. Wasn't that the name we floated for this channel, Andres?
No.
Wasn't? Oh, no. Do you remember the names we originally had for?
I kind of do.
Wait.
A lot of them were along the same lines, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So obviously First Cut, I also had I think I had First Draft or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the
something like that.
Trying to remember.
A lot of those that had first in it or stuff like that.
That's funny. I love that. Yeah. I loved especially watching the throwback episodes and just going back into older videos. I love seeing you two, little baby RB3 and Andres talking about movies. I love it.
Yikes, bro. Yikes.
My favorite part about that is me putting up old videos from 2 or 3 years ago and me saying the exact same thing I said 3 years ago, today, and not even realizing it. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, me is seeing my takes and being delete that. Yeah, obviously, guys, thank you so much for this year. This year has been insane. Obviously, we all talked about our highlights. Mine is still the half of it director. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
I still probably think that's one of my favorites of the year. I mean, besides that, I got retweeted by Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah! Dang, yeah.
That's all I did this year. That and we 8-0 in the bubble, baby. 8-0 in the bubble.
Still make the playoffs though. Still make the playoffs.
Hey, nobody can take that away. That's the highlights of my year. End of list. RB3, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. Also, too, you did an amazing run in the Star Wars tournament too this summer as well. That was also pretty dope as well. Yeah, I mean, in terms of for me, yeah, like I said, the Josh Trank moment was huge. That going viral for me was definitely one of the highlights for me, especially if people don't remember, that was literally at the same exact time as the R&B situation. So it was literally it was the two, it was the best of times and the worst of times, colliding I had. But I chose to focus on the positive, and we did. That was one of the best moments I've had too. And
the episode is so great still.
Yeah. And people, and the clip went viral, but people who watched the actual episode and left comments say how well and thought out and in depth the convo was, because it was we talked about the filmmaking, we talked about storytelling, the troubles of being in this industry. It was a really, really good convo. And if you haven't checked it out, please go ahead and check that out. Another good convo too was with Danny Fernandez that we had in our Dragon Ball Z episode. That's an
underrated one.
Yeah, and she dropped some real jewels on us too about being strong and passionate in this industry as well. I think she dropped so many jewels on us on that, so I might have to clip that one out too soon. But yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah. But so many fun moments on the First Cut this year.
What about you, Sabrina? Any moments in general? just because we said our first cut once.
Ooh, 2020. I really do think it was just kind of my overall growth. I only started with all of this just about a little over a year ago. And obviously, like, even from this, I've started my own Patreon and have been continuing on this stuff. So you guys really were the foundation for me. And obviously you guys are still like my number one to this day. But like, I never thought that I could ever do any of this. This was never even a thought in my mind of like, oh, I want to do something like this. It just happened and it just worked out the way it was. So starting with this and then going to Geeks of Color and going to SCN to my own Patreon, patreon.com/SabrinaOnFilm. Doing all of that has been so crazy. And I just want to seriously give a quick shout out to everybody that's on my Patreon. Like through the Discord and through all the conversations we have film club every week or every other week, and we all just hang out. I've watched so many incredible films since then that I'd never even heard of. Harold and Maude is next. I've heard of it, but haven't